is Ashton Smith, and one of her main projects is science and technology, and this is her mother, Donna. And so she planned this, and so she's gonna start with an experiment, and then Vikram is a horticulture agent, and he's gonna do an activity, and then we're gonna continue on. So we'll let you start here.
Alright, so the first thing, this experiment is called walking water. That's the first thing on the list, and I'm just going to put water in every other cup, and then I'm going to color them. And I'll do different colors as we go down this. So this one I'm not going to fill as full as I will these, because as these two just need to be more full. About that full? I don't know. Is that about twice as much as that? I'm in a really bad angle.
No,
No?
it's not twice as much.
But is it?
It's
a big
more.
enough difference?
Yeah, put more in the middle one. Okay, that's good.
Alright. I wasn't supposed to pour out that much of the water.
You need more. You need
I have another one. So, I'm going to. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. Okay. Now, I'm going to color the water. So I'll do the two on the ends, red. And I'll do this one yellow. And over here, under this, just to save time, like they do on the cooking shows where they put something in the oven and they pull the one out that's already cooked. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. I'm going to have to fold this up, and I'll show you how to do that with the last one. And that's really cool.
Almost.
I'm just going to swirl those around to make sure they're mixed all the way. And that looks really cool. So I folded each of these into quarters horizontally. So I made them, so that would be halves. And then I folded it again. And then I just folded it in half vertically, this way. And that's the exact same thing I did with the other ones. And should I make these darker? Are they dark enough? Okay, I don't know. And then I'm just going to do this all the way down the row. And hope I don't get my fingers in the water. And then they'd be blue for the rest of the week and I'd look like a Smurf. That would be any fun at all. Actually, it would be pretty fun because then I'd have to tell the story over and over and over. It's like breaking your arm, right?
Yep.
So, do you have any guesses on what these are going to do? Or why I'm doing this or anything like that?
I'm guessing they're gonna go to the other cup.
Yeah? And so what do you think is going to happen in that cup?
Gonna mix.
They're going to mix, so I'm probably going to have orange in this one and
Green.
and
Purple.
alright. So we'll
Or
see if that's
brown.
what happens.
Is it purple or brown?
Well, this is blue and this is red.
Right, did they make brown or did they make purple?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Purple.
Okay. So what makes brown? Because that's also how you get brown.
If you mix any color that's complementary, so like a cross,
Uh-huh.
right? Complementary is a cross. So if you mixed like blue and orange, you would get brown. Or if you
Okay.
mixed yellow and purple, you'd get brown.
Okay.
Or red and green, you would get brown.
Okay.
And
Very
so
good.
we're just gonna leave that alone for now, and we'll come back to that at the end.
So, what we're gonna do is make. You ever heard of seed bombs? You know what a seed bomb is? Okay. So they started making seed bombs in big cities like New York and Chicago. They found that they had all these empty lots that nothing would grow in, that there was nothing to do anything with. They were behind fences. They were just, unused. And so these creative folks decided we needed a way to put flowers or something else into these empty lots. And so they came up with this idea of making seed bombs. And so they would give them to kids and tell the kids to run down the street and, secretively throw these little seed bombs in there. And essentially what they are is clay with wildflower seeds in it. And so they would throw these into these empty lots, and over time as it rained and as they broke down, all the seeds would fall out and get planted in wherever they were, and they could really reclaim a piece of this. I'll take one from me. They could really reclaim big chunks of just like neglected city blocks and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So it's really pretty simple. I'm going to give you 3 piles of stuff. Yeah, it can get a little bit messy, so it's not too bad. There's a messier way to do it, and I chose not to do that way. So I'm going to give you a little pile of potting mix, and this is just, you want to play too?
I'm gonna play.
Okay. A chunk of air dry clay. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. You can either use this air dry clay, which is probably the easiest. You can get it at Walmart or anywhere. It will harden up without needing to be fired or anything like that. You can also buy powdered clay. You can order it online. That's typically how they like if you watch a tutorial online, that's how they'll do it. Look at the powdered clay, they'll mix it up and make them that way. That's a lot messier. I've done it that way and it gets everywhere, all over everything. So this is a little bit easier and honestly quite a bit cheaper. I'm also going to give you a little pile of wildflower seed. So this that I bought is a hummingbird and butterfly mix. And so the flower species that are in here tend to attract hummingbirds and butterflies and other pollinators. So it's really pretty simple. First thing you're going to do, get a little ball of your air dry clay. Doesn't really matter, it can be as big or as small as you want. I like to do it about like that. A big marble, ping pong ball, something like that. It can be smaller, it can be bigger, it doesn't matter. And then you're just going to flatten it out. Okay. And then add a pinch of your potting media. So the reason I like this like Miracle Grow or whatever else potting media, one, it holds some moisture in there, so these seeds, once they get wet, they'll take in some moisture and it makes it last a little bit longer. They also have these...
That's these little white things, right?
Yes, so this is called perlite. It's kind of like expanded rock that holds water. Also, these little beads, like this, are actually fertilizer. And so with a little bit in there, it gives your flowers, when they start to germinate, a little bit of a boost. Now just take a pinch of your wildflower seeds, and you can get, just a little bit. I may even have a little bit too much on here. And then just, what I like to do is fold in half, like a taco, empanada, whatever.
Yeah.
And then just work it back together back into a ball. You can do it 2 ways. Really the best way to do it is to mix it so that so it's not just stuff enclosed in it, but it's kind of mixed up through there. And if it breaks open, you can add more clay or whatever else. And eventually, just working it together, you'll get a new little clay ball that has your potting media and your seed mixed up in there. And it makes a mess, and I haven't found a way around that yet. You let these dry. Usually it takes just a couple hours to dry, and they'll get hard and won't stick to everything. And then you can, again, you probably don't want to throw it in your neighbor's yard or whatever. You could, I guess. But if you have an empty lot, a pasture, something where you want to plant out flowers, this is an easy way to do it. Most of the flowers in here are annuals, but they put out a lot of seeds, and so they'll reseed and you'll get more the next year and all of that. And I know what a lot of people like to do, I've done this a few times, is they'll actually make little figurines and make art out of them. Like, so they'll get quite a bit more of this and mix it up, and I've seen people that made large like yard art out of it and even painted it and decorated it, and then over time that'll slowly turn into a wildflower patch. So it's interesting for a long time.
Right.
As far as these materials go, again, this just came from Walmart. The wildflower mixes are usually available in any of the box stores. So this one came from Home Depot. It's about It's about $10, and if you were to just put it out, it would cover about 1,200 square feet. So it goes pretty far. So even just in this little ball you made, you've got a ton of seeds in there. The cool thing about most of these mixes is they will have species that flower at different times of the year. So you'll get some stuff that's starting to green up now, and then some stuff that comes out in the summer, and you'll really get flowers through your first freeze.
And you just put them outside. You don't have to water them or plant them or bury them or anything.
What they recommend kind of scratching the soil with a rake, putting it out there, and then covering it back over. But really, you don't really even have to do that. If you have a bare patch, you may not get a ton of them that come up right away, but over time they'll fill in. I think the best part about wildflowers is whatever grows is supposed to grow. Like whatever grows fits here and is well adapted here. So I have a wildflower patch that I never water. It's right next to my driveway, and I pretty much don't do anything to it. So any questions about this? I know it's pretty simple, but it's a fun, just quick activity, and it's a good way to plant out seeds rather than having to spend a lot of time digging or anything else.
Right. That's fine.
You could even stick this in a pot in a container and water it, and it would do the same thing.
So, ta-da! The way this works is inside the paper, it's made from like fibers from plants, made from plant fibers, just like in a tree. You think about when there's water down in the ground, and the tree needs to get all the way up to the top of the tree for its leaves. And the way it does that is it uses cellulose, is the, I don't even know the term I'm looking
Plant
for.
fiber.
Yeah, cellulose is plant fiber, and that helps it transport the water up. And it's doing the same thing. It goes up this side and then down the other because of the cellulose. And so the red came from here, and the blue came from here, and like you guessed, it made purple. And the yellow and the blue combined and made green, and the red and the yellow combined and made red. And if you look, it even started to creep up the other side. So like, because yellow is lighter, the orange kind of creeped up a little bit on both sides, and like the green creeped up a little bit here. So this is like a more green blue, and then this is a more purple blue, and this is like a true blue. And so as it goes through, if you were to take out the paper towels and lay them like this, you would have a continuous color, like spectrum. That's what it was looking for. So it works through cellulose, and the water there's like kind of air pockets, if you want to think about it that way, that's in the cellulose that the water is able to travel between, and that's how it gets from one to the other. And that's why paper towels, it's, when you wipe something up with a paper towel, you're doing the same thing, except this is just allowing time for it to travel instead of just wipe it up and be done with it. So, colors.
Very good.